From the very first wet dream, men know the thirst. From the very first culture, the story has been the same. Masturbation makes you go blind, or worse. Think about this. Why? Why the lies? Why this unquenchable thirst? Simple. Biology, propagation of the species. No thirst, no kitties. Why the stories to prevent men managing this thirst? The answer is control of men, yoking men to women in the community through the heavy chain of arbitrary morality. But the real question, the important question, is why do men allow themselves to be led along this way, harnessed like a bull in a muddy field, trudging and obeying the narrative, with the carrot of this thirst held out before them as incentive and shame, century after century. The last thing the social engineers throughout the centuries have ever wanted is an end to pornography. The positioning of images of beautiful women in sexualized poses is a stimulant to the thirst, a way to keep the yoke on good and tight. The tales of courtly love and academic investigations of sex are just other ways of keeping the hormones in a stimulated mode. Admonishing men to do their duty and raise a family is a crude and ineffective way, a hopeless and desperate tactic by those who lack creativity and don't know the history of controlling men. Control the thirst, and men will submit themselves willingly, repeatedly, and predictably. Mgtow began to unravel these stories that kept men locked within their thirst. Stop focusing on your libido for just a moment. Turn off the pornographic trap, and you can think more straight and choose whether you want to be yoked or not. Think twice about a date with a woman wearing fake-up and teasing you, paying dearly just for the privilege of stimulating that thirst. But the women all know men can be led like cattle if they are horny. They say, keep the men horny. So the critics of Mgtow don't understand at all, because they are yoked, controlled by this thirst, and cannot even begin to understand not being led, not being controlled. In their minds, if you don't have sex with a woman, then with a man, or if not with men, with kids, if not with kids, then with some object. They are fully yoked to the narratives that stimulate their biology, so junked up on the social sexualization that they can more easily imagine fetish sexual acts than freedom from biological enslavement. They glorify their enslavement, holding up their chains like a prize and taunting those who are free to choose. Meanwhile, the meat grinder legal system butchers the old sustainable model and leaves men by the millions so victimized that they are now yoked by threats of violence, not to quit their jobs, not to leave their countries, not to remove their yokes. To break free of the biology is just to let it slide away, recognizing the pornographic stimulants and avoiding the open prostitution of women's historical contribution to men's thirst. Pay me, and I will show you paradise, the paradise of slavery. Breaking free of one's own biology is to gain a freedom from placing women and the system over men. Women and those running the system will fight to keep their sexualized stimulants on every billboard, the love drug in every movie, the scantily clad eye candy in every second glance. Come into paradise, the paradise of slavery. Mgtow is freedom.